Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Capricorn in June 2020. What is going on, Capricorn? How are you folks doing? How are you guys doing? Folks, interesting. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. Capricorn, here we are, half of the year practically gone. I hope wherever you are in this world, whatever you're doing, you are safe, you are happy, you are secure, okay? The pandemic is still a little bit of an issue. We've got some civil protests going on here in the States that people are, it's a very interesting time to be alive, to say the least, okay? Wherever you are, though, and whatever you're doing, please be safe, please be kind. You know, just don't have bad intentions and don't hurt people, okay? It's like pretty simple formula. And I encourage everybody to get in on that action, okay? All right, regular intro commencing. Capricorn, I have shuffled off camera. That is, oh, excuse me, there's another general announcement before that. In the month of June, Capricorn, if you're interested, I'm thinking of doing a surprise live here on the channel that I will read for the collective energies and individuals who might show up in the chat. If you have not subscribed, I would consider subscribing. That way you can see your notifications of when I do that. Again, it's a surprise. I'm not scheduling it. I'm hoping to just find the right moment and I can flick the camera on and be here and interact with you guys. So if you're interested in seeing me do that, make sure you turn on your notifications and hopefully you're going to be able to catch me, okay? Now, the regular intro. Capricorn, shuffled off camera. That's your main spread there. I'm going to shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energies. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that's when the reading begins. Your timestamp is in the description box if you want to jump ahead. Also down there's the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. If you have a question before you place an order, just email me at the same address and I'll answer you as soon as I can. And if you missed it in the intro, I am on Instagram. That name over there is EmpathicFire Tarot. And I am pulling oracle cards at the moment a few times throughout the week, interpreting them for the collective. So if you're interested in that, just drop me a follow. Eventually, I'm thinking of putting some pick-a-card stuff up there, so be on the lookout for that, okay? All right, friends, let's do it. Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. I want to see Capricorn's outcome for June 2020, please. Please show me the outcome for Capricorn in June 2020. Please show me. All right, easy peasy. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. Boom. Boom. One card came face down, so let's see what that is. All right, got a lot of people here. Okay, let's figure it out, though. All right, please show me where Capricorn is in June 2020. Please show me Capricorn in June 2020. Please show me. Okay, wow, and then I got my hand hurting. Ugh, that hurt me in my knuckles here. It's very strange. Anyway, Capricorn, here we go. Coming into June, you come in with the Five of Air, aka Five of Swords. This is, oh, excuse me, not air, fire. Gosh. I was like, no, my bad. I was like, that was not the alchemical symbol. Five of Wands, aka Five of Fire. This is Saturn in Leo. If you can see the glyphs in the bottom right and left hand, or excuse me, the bottom right corner and the top left. I mean, this deck is so real. It's the what's it called? The New Era Elements Tarot deck. So the depictions are very apt. They're very modern, right? So we got this fighter jet screeching through the air, guns going off, missiles going off. What's that on the ground? It's like buildings or farmland down there. So in a sense, as the card, in a sense, not in a sense, in a sense, like the card says, this is conflict. You might be in a very serious battle between you and another person or a group of people, because when we talk about the Five of Wands, traditionally we see on a traditional tarot deck 5 individuals going at it, right? So it could be you, 5 other people, 15 other people, take your pick. But I do feel it's a very bitter conflict. It's a very bitter tug of war kind of energy. It's like you pull the rope your way and then it's yanked away from you and then you gotta struggle to get it back, and it's like this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So in terms of wands or fire, we could talk about, unfortunately, altercations, because wands can talk about physical movement or the way things show up in our lives, and their performative behaviors or performative tasks. So you literally could be fighting. I do not ever, ever, ever advocate for violence or any type of physical retribution or anything, but I know that that's reality, and I know that, whether we want to or not, sometimes that's going to happen in life. If you are out in the streets getting into fisticuffs, just don't. But if you're gonna do it, protect yourself, I guess. If it's not physical fighting, it is very similar in like taking punches back and forth or taking stabs at a person back and forth. So this could be like a heated debate online. This could be a heated exchange in text messages. It's fucking nasty, truly. Because I feel it's like this thing that keeps happening to you, or you keep getting involved in, or you're involving yourself, hold yourself accountable. If you keep jumping back into the fray, be accountable and own your actions. But I feel like this is a cycle. When we see fighter jets, at least when I've seen them on TV and in movies and stuff, and the little that I do know, talking to people who have been in the military, it's like you often do an overpass, your first run if you're dropping bombs or shooting or whatever, and then you circle back around and you do it again if you've missed the target, or if the target, whatever. There's reasons to re-engage. So like that's why I'm getting this feeling of cycles. You keep coming back to the same arguments, you keep interacting with the same people in a negative contesting type of way. Maybe you're fighting over property, because again, with the artwork that's there on the card, there's this jet above the ground. You might be fighting over land. You might be fighting over the ownership of property, something like that. And it's nasty, Capricorn. It's really nasty, because I don't get the sense that you or the other person is wanting to give up this fight. Five of Wands or Five of Fire is something that you, for the most part, don't have to do, but you do it anyway. Don't have to involve yourself in, but you volunteer yourself to do it. Again, with this idea of like a militarized plane. In many cultures, not all, but in many societies, the military is voluntary. You don't have to do that. But if that's the line of work you want to volunteer for, that you want to, sign up for, you're free to do so. Right? So you don't have to be in this conflict, but many of you are. And how much, quote unquote, at fault you are, that's up for you to determine. That's up for you to discern. And in other cases, it's like a roped in. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Where I was saying maybe you're fighting over property or some type of possessions, right? I get the sense that maybe you were like, I don't even care. But someone legally has wrapped you into something, or they keep pulling you back into something. Like, I'm not done with you, Capricorn, get back here. Like someone might insist on fighting you. Like, to lighten the energy a little bit, I'm going to infuse some humor here. It's like that moment in Back to the Future where Marty McFly is walking away from the bully Biff, and he goes, "What are you, a chicken?" And Marty McFly, being a proud, egotistical little snot-nosed kid, no offense, I love the movie, I absolutely do, but his ego pulls him back. You don't have to respond to name calling. That's like one of the first things like you're taught as a kid. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. And again, I'm not calling you out. I'm not trying to insult you, but that's what this feels like to a certain degree. There's a high road, and you don't necessarily go all the way up that high road. You can be called back down because of name calling, because of, unfortunately, in some of your cases, legal actions. Like, you might want to be absolutely done with a situation, but somebody hauls you into court, somebody files a restraining order against you, and it becomes a thing. Like, God forbid. Okay, listen. I'm laughing because I think it's absurd. Let's use Biff and our good friend Marty McFly, right? Let's say these two were living in the modern era, and Biff is the school bully. He's known to be the bully, right? It would be like Biff, the bully, puts a restraining order on Marty McFly, and Marty McFly is like, "Are you serious? I don't do anything to you. I'm not trying to be in a conflict with you, buddy." And then you're gonna get an official document that restrains me from you. It's like a power move. It's a power move. In some of your cases, that you're getting roped back into a conflict with someone. It's a power move. I'm not clapping. I'm trying to decimate that. I don't like that. Go away. I don't want that. That's toxic. In some of your cases, this is someone who, dare I say, is a narcissist. And I normally don't use it in that way that we're becoming accustomed to using it. Normally when I say narcissist on this channel, I'm talking about an egotist. No, I mean a narcissist. This is someone who gaslights. Okay? This is someone who plays victim even though they are the victimizer. Okay? So you're in a heavy conflict with them. And boy, oh boy, are you tired of that shit. As you should be. As you should be. Hopefully you're not feeding into it. Hopefully you've done this do-si-do enough times to know that that's dead to you. You don't need to rise to that energy, to those. It's a trap. It's bait. It's a trap. It's bait. They're trying to trap you. They're trying to bait you. Don't go for it. You don't want to. I don't think you should. 10 of fire right beneath it. Exhaustion. Exhaustion. Now you're looking at that wonderful cheetah or panther or whatever. What is this? A cheetah? I think it's a... Aren't cheetahs like... Leopard. That's the word. I was like, it's not a cheetah. Cheetahs are like really skinny. This is a leopard. My bad. I was like, that's not the right animal. This is Saturn in Sagittarius, for those are looking at the glyphs. And it says oppression. Talk about it. Tarot card. Talk about it. Oppression. Some of you have been in this really vicious cycle with one particular person or a group of people. Like I'm sensing like a bullying situation, like a friendship circle, family members. Maybe you're part of a certain club or an association, and like somebody at the top is like really unruly or really abusive towards you guys, like in an employment thing. This could be like, what was that movie, Horrible Bosses? I didn't even see that one, but I know one of them was like ridiculously abusive towards their employees. I know Jennifer Aniston was like, what, sexually inappropriate. I know one of them was like super abusive. Are you being abused by your boss? Would make sense that you'd be dealing with that situation on a continual basis because you need to be employed. You need to make a living, right? So whatever the reason or whatever the context, you have willingly, to a certain extent, Capricorn, involved yourself with this person or the circumstances between you. But it's exhausting you. You are oppressed by this experience. You are oppressed by this energy. You are, as this leopard is, caged. And, you know, listen, I love a good trip to the zoo. I'm going to be honest. But I'm also one of these people, I'm like, oh, but this is sad. They're not free. They're not able to be what they want to be or be what they naturally are because they're caged. So, you know, call me a hypocrite. I'll own it. I love trips to the zoo because I like to see the animals, but I'm also like, that's sad. They shouldn't be here. Ironically, I'll never go to SeaWorld. That, I think, is tremendously horrible. So, I don't know. Anyway, so your natural inclination or your natural environment, your natural habitat is somewhere outside of this situation, but you're caged to it. Some of you contractually so. Maybe your employment is with certain contracts and NDAs and you're not allowed to leave, or you can't leave until the terms of the contract expire. If this is about a marriage, that's a contract, okay? For some reason, marriages are conflated with lawful contracts in many places in the world, right? Or that's the only thing it is. It's not even about romance. It is lawfully the possession of one person to another, okay? Take your pick on how severe that is. You are in a situation that cages you. that takes away your natural ability to be whatever you are. In this case, this leopard, natural predator out there in the plains, I guess. Aren't they natural to the African plains? I don't really know. But there's this natural way of being, performing, living, sustaining yourself that you're not able to access. There's an approximation of it because, again, presumably this leopard is in a zoo, and any semi-decent zoo, okay, tries its best to recreate the natural environments that the animals would be, living in. But it's fake. It's not true. Right? There's parameters, there's boundaries. Okay. Parameters and boundaries. Some of you have been restricted in what you can do, where you can go, who you can speak to, or you feel that way. Interesting. Or you feel that way. Some of you are at a loss on how to get free, essentially. Get free. Some of you've been trying for years to win the court case. It's very interesting, I feel, court. I'm not even really looking at, I don't even know what's down there. Some of you have been trying lawfully through the courts to retain or regain the possession of property, of, a car, of, trying to free your assets from being entangled in another person's assets, free your assets from, a family business, whatever. You've been trying. Gosh. And it's not yet gone in your favor. Will it go in your favor? Who knows? It all depends on what choices are made in your life and in their life and all that kind of stuff. But the intention is to not be oppressed, to not be caged up, to not be entangled in this bullshit anymore. It's exhausting to you. Thankfully, it's a 10. So that is an indicator that things could be wrapping up. Again, in your favor or not in your favor, I can't tell. I'm not at that point in the reading yet if it's going to be revealed at all. But you are just drained over this shit. So tired of this, so tired of this person, so tired of their mouth, so tired of their harassment. And it sucks because in many of your cases, this is someone that you, to a certain extent, like or love or respect or respected, past tense maybe. And to walk away or be absolutely freed of this situation isn't really feasible. Another way to think of why this is, why I'm hesitant with admitting or saying, well, Capricorn, even though this is crappy, you'll be able to get out, is because of the depiction of this 10 of fire. An animal in a zoo cage. Right? The zookeepers feed you. They help you when you're ill. They, take care of you, the veterinary doctors and all that kind of stuff. It's your home and you're taken care of, but what you truly want, your own freedom, is not there. You're still tied to something heavily. But you're exhausted from it. You're exhausted from it. Maybe you're so exhausted that you don't even want to fight anymore. Man, I don't know. Anyway, what else happens for Capricorn? I feel like my energy is it's like draining out of me. It's like, oh man. What else happens? Show me, please. You are possibly Is it like a final round, 12th round, turnaround in a boxing match? Are you just at the end of at the end of your rope, but then you turn on the heat kind of energy? Okay, maybe not turn on the heat, but you still fight a little bit. You still have a little bit of gas left in the tank, yeah? Yeah. Okay. Daughter of Fire, aka the Page of Wands. Fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You could be dealing with a fire sign or not at all. It is a general, okay? I feel like this is you. If it's not you, it's someone that inspires you or your motivation in the situation, okay? This has been coming up for many people in June. The daughters and the pages are often in tarot linked to children. So some of you have children in the situation and they are your inspiration. They are your guidance. They are the reason that you're not going to quit, that you're not going to throw in the towel, that you're not going to allow yourself to continually be roped back into conflict. Take your pick on what you're choosing to do or how your situation is unfolding, right? And if it's not a child, I think that this is you budding into or you're growing into this inspirational phase for yourself. The Daughter of Fire, no matter if it's you or someone else, is an energy of new endeavors, new pathways, and being zealous, being impassioned, feeling revved up and ready to face adversity. I would argue that the Daughter of Fire could be the bravest of the pages. You could say maybe the Daughter of Air or aka Page of Swords could be, but I think that the pages or the Daughter of Air would not be as dedicated to the task. I think that the Daughter of Fire is not one to get fatigued. Like I said over here, like I feel you're exhausted. I feel your energy is drained by dealing with this situation or this person, but you haven't actually given up the fight. You actually haven't thrown in that towel, or the way you're throwing in the towel actually shows some type of perseverance. The way that you're walking away doesn't show defeat. It shows, like I said earlier in the conflict card, some of you have been pulled down from the high road a few times over at this point, and now you're saying, you know what, the next time this person tries to bait me, the next time this son of a bitch tries to gaslight me, I'm not going to respond. That's the quickest way to disarm a narcissist. Don't respond. Do not engage. And they don't know what to do. They become confused and they start to be pissed and they start to be affected. If the more you engage with a narcissist, the more they're pleased. Any attention, negative or positive, is what they want. You give them no attention, you give them no energy, you take away their power. So that's kind of what this feels like. If you walk away, if you don't engage, it's a power move. It's a small power move. Pages or daughters are the smaller end, but the younger end, the least experienced end of the court cards. Daughter, son, mother, and then father. Page, knight, queen, king, right? This is new. This approach is new. Not engaging, ignoring phone calls, letting messages go unread, countering somebody's restraining order with another restraining order. I think that's possible in some jurisdictions. Oh, you're going to restrain me? I restrain you, bitch. No offense. I'm not trying to call anybody. It's like, that's how I speak. When I'm contesting with someone, I will call them all sorts of things. Okay. So it's like that. It's like, don't come for me because I'm going to come for you and I'll match you or I'll do it in a way that you're not expecting. Someone slaps you with a restraining order, they're expecting you to ring their phone. Hey, what are you doing? I never did anything to you to warrant this. You're the one who bullied me. You're the one who abused me. You're the one who's taking advantage in this. That's what they want. They want to get a rise out of you. And so if you go through legal channels, again, I'm feeling this interest in like court systems and lawful practice, right? If you go through legal channels and only speak to them through a lawyer or some other legal representative, or speak to them through the local PD, they're going to be like, what? That is not what I expected. I expected Capricorn to drive to my house and shout at me. That way I know they're still playing my game. Daughter of Fire is like playing nobody's game, or is playing this game in a more strategic way than ever before, right? So that's where I think the situation is going to turn for you, is when you play the game in a way this person doesn't expect, in a way the people you're dealing with don't expect. It requires patience. It requires you to be very mindful of what you say and do. Might involve a little bit of woo-woo, okay? A little bit of woo-woo energy. Because you've got this high priestess sort of advising your action. Major Arcana High Priestess. Secondary card for Cancer, sometimes also associated with Pisces. You might seek, in some of your cases, I mean, you're watching a tarot reading, so that's like half a step there, right? So some of you might be seeking advice from, a tarot reader, a psychic, a medium. You might be, I don't know if I condone it either. You might be thinking about doing some black magic. Be careful, be careful, be careful. I don't advocate for that, but whatever. The interest in mystic arts or esoteric concerns might be helpful to you at this time. I'm not saying that it's the resolution or it's the solution, but you might find something helpful in it, or someone who dabbles in this work, who dabbles in this world is helpful to you, a helpful ally, or someone who gives you good advice or good insight, okay? And I think, again, it influences your action because fire involves actual, movement and behaviors and steps taken, right? So you might, some of you might be ringing up a psychic, tell me what's going to happen in my divorce. And they're like, you'll be all right. It's going to be shitty, but you're going to be all right. And you're kind of like in that shitty part and you're waiting for things to get all right. But you're trusting. That's the thing that the High Priestess does. She asks you to trust your intuition as an energy in the tarot. I don't know what whoever you're working with is telling you to do, but that's what this feels like. You're being told, nudged, influenced, encouraged to trust the process. To trust that after all this shit that you've put up with, after all this stuff that has been so egregious to you, so offensive to you, so hurtful to you, so damning to you, so destructive towards you, that out of all of that, you're going to be okay. Oh, wait, what's that? Oh, that's interesting. This is still a new deck to me, so I haven't studied every card. But she has cards. She has, okay, the twos. Got you. So in front of her, down at the bottom here, she has the traditional tarot cards in front of her. She's got all the twos, Two of Wands, Two of Cups, Two of Swords, and Two of Pentacles, and then the Moon card in the middle. Look at that. I can read those tiny little cards. Anyway, I wonder what that means. Well, twos are about choices. Twos are about choices. And the Moon is about uncertainty. Illusions, delusions, confusing and confuddled energy. So you, again, might be seeking the help of someone. They don't have to be, a tarot reader or a mystic or anything like that. They could be, again, legal advice. You're going to get a restraining order on me. I'm going to hire a lawyer. You're going to send your partner to my house. You're going to send your friends to my house to try and intimidate me. I'm going to send the cops to your house. It's like a upping the ante energy, it feels like, by seeking help elsewhere or being open to help coming from another avenue, so to speak. Yes, you didn't necessarily want to do this, but you have done it, or you will do it. I think you or the other person involved, this can be vice versa. Okay, it is a general, but somebody didn't want to go through these channels, didn't want things to get so bad, didn't want this situation to become as adverse and just combative as it has become. So behind it all, underneath it all, there is the sensitivity that you bring to the situation, Capricorn. Father of water, aka King of Cups. Water sign energy, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. You don't necessarily want to take it to this level, but you will, and you have. Yeah? I don't know. I know this would be like what? Pacific Islander or maybe Polynesian or something. If I'm wrong about what culture is depicted here, and I could just look at the book. I guess I will after I turn the camera off. But I feel like in these more indigenous or tribal cultures, that great leadership comes twofold, right? This is just, I'm just spitballing here, so I apologize if I'm offending anybody or stepping on any toes. But it feels like the warrior side of this man, of the person on this card, you don't have to be a man to experience this. You can be a female. Okay, there's no gender. But the warrior side of that person is depicted with the artwork on the face, the tattooing of the face. I could be wrong. It doesn't, I could be wrong. I'm just allowing it. But this is how it's coming through. It's like war paint, even though it's not. It's like war paint. But at the same time, this is the father of water, the master of emotions, the master of nurturing and sensitivity and compassion. And that's kind of a fine line to walk. But I think Capricorn, you're one of the signs that could do that pretty well. Walking the line of being a fierce fighter, someone who stands up in your own integrity, defends yourself, defends your own honor or the honor of others, but also you're not looking to destroy your enemy. Like, comparatively, if this is you and this 5 of air over here represents the people that you're dealing with, we've got 2 different takes on the situation. Neither is saying, I don't want to fight at all, or I don't want to, have to deal with these negative interactions. But one side is like, I only speak or I only do things that are negative and hurtful and wrathful. This side over here is like, that is not my go-to move. I don't want to start out with aggravation. I don't want to start out with having to go for the jugular. I'm willing to communicate first. I'm willing to compromise first. I'm willing to put forth efforts of diplomacy, of negotiation first. But if I gotta put on my war paint face, I'll do that. That's what this feels like. You didn't want to, or someone in this situation didn't want to make bad blood. Didn't want to be adversarial, but because all the kings or all the fathers are masters of their suit and therefore masters of adversity, able to triumph over adversity and certain losses or certain defeats and still rise to the top. That's kind of what this feels like. The other aspect is the father of water, like I said, is the master of emotions and sensitivity and compassion. So you have a certain compassion, thank you, for this person. Some of you, it's coming out in the form of pity. I'm going to be honest. You pity this person. And, at that point, I'm not here to tell you what to feel about a narcissist. Maybe pity is the best thing maybe it's what they deserve. Everybody's pity. Don't tell them that, because they're going to be like, I don't deserve your pity. They're going to get all reactionary about it. But some of you pity this person. You feel sorry for them. You're sorry that they can't let it go. You're sorry that they can't let you go. You're sorry that it had to be this way, whatever. And not that you're saying this to them, not that you're offering them your condolences. It's not like that. It's more like on the inside, I didn't want to take it to this level, but I had to do what I had to do. Or I'm going to have to do what I have to do. You know what I mean? Exactly. 8 of air in reverse, aka 8 of swords in reverse. This is Jupiter in Gemini for those who care about the glyphs. And the card says interference, right? But in reverse. So I think where you felt stuck and incapable of affecting change or sort of not even affecting change, where you felt stuck and tied to a situation, you felt as if you couldn't break free. Like these birds are, again, these corners talk. Sometimes my opposite corners talk, the diagonals, but now the horizontal corners are talking. So this father of water talks to that conflict, and this 8 of interference, or excuse me, 8 of air talks to this 10 of fire, where we were talking earlier about this oppressed leopard and wanting to be free and not being caged. Another way of talking about being caged and being stuck is the 8 of interference, but again, yours is in reverse. So you're no longer unwilling to fight back, stand your ground, go about things, from the high road. Again, some of you were in that petty conflict energy, willfully going into the fray, willfully responding to this narcissistic person or this narcissistic situation and environment, getting wrapped up in drama that you didn't have to. Now you're like, I don't have to. I know I don't. I have another choice. It's good because I think it transmutes the energy. And again, like we were talking about the high priestess, you might not see the effects or feel the result of these subtle changes, but the moment you stop responding, the moment you let a text go unread, the moment that you block someone and keep them blocked, the moment that you counter someone's restraining order or their lawful injunction on you, you hit them with an injunction, and now you guys are, even Stevens, right? The moment you do all that stuff, it frees you up mentally. Mental energy, as it's related to the sword suit. So you're no longer obsessing or worrying or anxious and scared of what's going to happen tomorrow. You put it in the hands of the authorities. The authorities will deal with that person, right? It's something like that. Outcome. Capricorn in June is the Daughter of Water, aka the Page of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, does not have to be. If this is about a kid again, because again, the Daughter of Fire was here earlier, and I said maybe you have children in the situation and they've inspired you. This could be another child in the situation who maybe has, if I'm honest, a little bit of a sour grape feeling, like sour grapes, like salty energy. Okay, I get the sense that maybe if you have multiple children and this is about a divorce or some type of family altercation and things become difficult, I feel like one child is like kind of okay or on your side, Capricorn, and maybe another child is like, no, you're in the wrong, Capricorn. I think that you did too much. I think that this has gone on this has gone too far, and I'm not supporting this. You know what I mean? This Daughter of Water is showing to me that they don't want there to be any disagreements, period. And that's typical of a situation where there's family drama, where the kids just want there to be peace, or somebody in the situation just wants there to be peace and happiness and calmness. And, again, that's sometimes not a part of reality. Sometimes reality is very dark and unfortunate and unfair and hurtful, right? So if you do have multiple children, I get the sense that maybe some are coping better than others, and this particular child would be struggling to see how what's developing is for the greater good, right? How is this going to make things better with my parents shouting at each other every time they come into contact with one another? How's this helping the family? How's this showing that you love us, the kids, when you're trying to destroy each other? Something like that, right? If it's not a kid, if it's not a child in the situation, what's going on here? I don't know who would be apologizing to who, because I don't think if there's some narcissist you're dealing with, I don't think number one, a narcissist isn't going to sincerely apologize about anything. And number two, I don't think you're going to apologize to them. So again, maybe it's apologies towards the kids in the situation, or the younger energies, or the bystanders. Let's say that would make sense. The bystanders. Why do I say, that makes sense? Because remember up here with the fighter jet, and it's like shooting rockets down from the sky towards the ground. There are obviously going to be casualties that were not accounted for. I mean, that's, based on what I know about the military, sometimes, there's casualties of war. There's casualties in conflicts. So the casualties in your case could be friends, could be family members, could be children. The casualties could be, if this is about the dissolving of a business, the casualties could be your customer base. If this is about the closing of a restaurant and it's a bitter fight to the end of who gets what assets and blah, 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 the casualties of your conflict would be, the local people who patronize your establishment. Oh, you guys are closing? Oh, man. oh, I love this place. I love this restaurant. And you're like, yeah, well, I tried to save it, or I tried to do this and blah, blah, blah. So you might offer condolences to these bystanders that are not aware of how ugly your situation is, or they're witnesses to how ugly your situation is, and they're not happy to see it go that route. But like I said, sometimes it's like that in life, yeah? Overall energy, Capricorn, Father of Earth, aka King of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So this could be your energy. I'm telling you, you had a stable thing. You had something that you were building a foundation on. Or this is how the other side feels about it. We had a good thing going. We had something so solid, so precious, so amazing, and now it's crumbling around me. Like, you see those cracks behind that man's head? It's crumbling around me. The foundation I built up, the family that I created with you, or that we created together, the business that we created, it's all falling to pieces. And, the subtle ways you're looking at, that we can look at this man's face. This is a man of experience. This is a man of, he's lived, he's got a couple of good stories that he could share with you over a beer, right? And the look in his eyes, again, is like this, well, I shouldn't say again, it's sort of like this partially, partially sorry, but then also kind of like they tried to destroy me type of energy. It's like, hate to play on like a stereotype or play on like a certain visual, but it's sort of like the guy or the woman that goes to the bar when it opens at 11 a.m. and they don't leave until 8 o'clock. And all day they sit at the bar nursing their beers, nursing their drinks, and they're telling tales of their life. And sometimes the stories are pleasant. Sometimes the stories are funny. Sometimes the stories are interesting or unique. Other times they're like really angry and really pissed off at the world. So it's like a love-hate, there we go, like a love-hate relationship. Is that what you've experienced? That would make sense if you're dealing with a narcissist, a love-hate relationship. Okay? I feel overall there's someone here, you, them, both of you, to certain degrees, whatever, take your pick. But there's this love-hate element here where we had so many good memories together, or we had such good potential to do XYZ, but now look at it. Now everything's in the toilet. Now everything's crashing down around me. This whole thing has been a waste. And as somebody is ranting about that, or they're totally affected by that. And because it's Father of Earth, King of Pentacles, I feel that is sort of the center of their identity right now. Because pentacles equal foundations. So what's the foundation of a house? It's what everything is built off of. So right now, what everything is being built off of is some bitter energy, some love-hate energy. And that's not healthy. Capricorn, that's your reading for June. Oh boy. If you liked it, there's a like button down below. If you found something that resonated here and you want to share it in the comments section, feel free to do so. If you want to share this video, let other people know you like watching my stuff. That'd be super cool. And if you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing, my friends. I've had a good time meeting new clients and seeing the community grow. And so I want to see that work continue, or see that effort continue, the community expanding. So if you want to be a part of that, that's super, super cool. Okay. Let me see. I'll be back very soon to do your mid-June messages, as well as that surprise live. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, and if you want a personal reading with me, Capricorn, that information is in the description box. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, that link is down there as well, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Take care.